Hey people, welcome to the Run Testers and our review of the Altra Via Olympus 2. Now according to Ultra, this max stacked zero drop running shoe shoots for plush cushioning and exceptional performance in an easy road running experience. Changes from the past gen include a few tweaks to improve the fit, but the headline here is a new midsole foam that's now with EgoMax, Ultra's top end midsole foam, of which Ultra says we went softer so you can go harder. But is a softer Olympus an improvement? Well, watch on to find out. Now the stack height stays the same as the original Via Olympus with 33mm in the forefoot and obviously 33mm in the heel for Ultra's trademark zero drop. When it comes to weight, the Altra Via Olympus tips the scales at 305 grams or 10.75 ounces in my UK 8.5 test size. Price wise, they're also staying the same at £145 in the UK or $165 in the US. Now let's have a quick look at what's new with the shoe then, starting with the midsole. You've got an updated midsole that still uses Ultra's EgoMax foam, but Ultra says this version has been engineered to deliver a softer underfoot feel. That cushioning is enhanced by a soft cradling Ortholite X55 footbed. There's also a rocker to encourage propulsion and a more efficient toe off. And the forefoot platform here, as you can see, is quite wide. And you get that trademark Ultra toe box here and Ultra's original foot shape fit. Up top, the uppers are quite dense, a mesh here. There are medium padded heel collars and a medium padded tongue that's not gusseted. The heel security has been looked at too, with a refined moulded heel collar here to improve the hold. Flip them over and there's a generous covering of outsole rubber, and you've got the flex groove design that follows your metatarsals for what's supposed to be a more natural ride as you kind of land and toe off. Now when it comes to fit, I ran in my regular Ultra running shoe size, which is UK 8.5, and the fit was bang on true to size for me. You've obviously got that nice roomy toe box from Ultra, but what I really like is that the whole midfoot is really nice and secure, and the plush collars I think hold the heels really well. And there's plenty of wiggle room in the toe box as well, across the top and towards the end of the shoe. So for me, I would recommend going true to size in these. So then in testing, I've covered well north of 50 kilometres in the Altra Via Olympus 2, all the usual test conditions, some long, some slow miles, mixed in with some faster up-tempo efforts to test the versatility of the shoe. Most of that has been on road, some of it was on light off-road. And overall, stepping comfort is good here. You've got balanced padding with a decent roomy fit that help a lot. If you're coming from big cushion shoes from other brands, the sensation underfoot might initially feel a bit stiff and firm, but once you get moving, I think that softens up. It's a long way off the pillowy kind of soft rides that you might get from some other big sort of daily trainers, but there's enough softness here to take the edge off the road and none of the squidginess that I think can plague some of those over-cushioned daily trainers. Now the rockering really helps make for a smooth, natural transition. It's also helped by that EgoMax foam that compresses nicely with a timely return. This is definitely an easy day shoe, I think, and one to reach for when you're targeting like consistent slower pace. Good for when you just want to roll through the miles. It's not an entirely effortless ride. You're still having to work here, but I personally quite like that. I want my legs to do a bit as well. And I did 90 minutes on feet in the Via Olympus 2 without any trouble at all. Sort of happy clip along. What's also good here is the stability. Towards the end of that 90 minutes on pretty tired legs, with increasingly ragged, sloppy, lazy form. Yeah, you heard right. I found these helped a lot. They're not a stability shoe, but they are nice and stable. You've got a nice wide platform to run off into the heels and from the forefoot there, and that makes for reliable landings overall. Speaking of which, I know some might be put off by zero drop, but I think the rocker ride almost nullifies that for me, and I didn't really notice it even coming from much higher drop shoes that I'd been testing prior to these shoes, or sort of in combination with it. Now, when it comes to the grip of that outsole, I put it through some more testing slippy cobble sections along the River Thames where I run, and I found the traction was pretty reliable. It did quite well on that. I also think the durability is looking pretty solid here. There's no worrying signs for me at the moment, worrying signs of tear from the miles I've put into them, and I think the EgoMax foam should also retain its resilience nicely. Verdict then, well, if the Via Olympus were too firm, this second gen now offers a much more cushioned ride, but one that retains a bit of stiffness and firmness, so if you like that, you're going to like these. What you get here now is a good, easy, long-run shoe that's smooth and good for the slower end of things. There's a lot of what I tend to look for in an easy mile shoe. That includes a good roomy toe box with plenty of volume up front, balanced cushioning that's soft but not soggy with a touch of bounce, and gives the shoe a lighter feel than their weight would suggest. You're not getting a ride that's as soft as and cushioned as the likes of like a Nimbus or a New Balance 1080, those kind of shoes, and it's maybe not as agile as something like the Saucony Ride 17 or an On-Cloud Eclipse, but as an easy day option with bags of stability and a protective rolling ride, I would say it sort of ticks all of the boxes. And there also aren't many max cushioned zero drop shoes on the market, so if that's what you're after, then this is a very competent offering that's going to give you that. There are definitely more versatile shoes out there, so if you're after a more do-it-all shoe, I'd look at things like the Ride 17, maybe even the Triumph 21 from Saucony as well. Fans of the Hoka Bondi style shoe who've considered going zero drop might like what they see here as well. And if you've never gone zero drop, I think this shoe could be a good first step. If I had to sum them up in a few words, I'd basically just describe them as kind of plush, cruisy comfort. So there you have it. That's been our look at the new Altra Olympus 2. Hope you found it useful. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you did too. If you fancy hearing when new content arrives on the channel, subscribe. I've just said that, I think, but I'll say it again, subscribe. If you're interested in Altra shoes generally, I'm popping 2 reviews up on the channel that'll be very useful for you to watch right now. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching, and as ever, we appreciate you being here. Hope to see you again soon, and happy running, everyone.